Hi, I'm Damien. I'm going to give you a short demonstration on how to make these what I'm going to call a pillow cube. Quite a good looking little thing, and as one might imagine, they're built out of squares made like this, and also triangles made like this, but they're a special kind of square. You can't just use a normal square, and the triangles, there's a bit of a trick to making those as well. So as a first step, I'll show how to make these squares. Now, just as a to show you how not to make them, you can make long lines like this and just bend them over and do that. And the problem with doing that is that whilst the electric field along that side, because it was a line to start with, is the same for each magnet, here they go in, out, right, because they started like this, so they're coming around in a loop, so they're not all going in the same direction. And that's alright for making big blocks, because you just stack them one on top of the other, but when you've got to stack them kind of like this and then like this, you end up with the wrong ones facing the wrong ones, so you can't do it that way. So what you have to do is begin with a small square in the middle and then build concentric squares around it, around the outside. Now, I don't know how easy it is to see the colour, but that's what I mean by concentric. So the gold, there's a black one in the middle and then a gold band around the outside of it and then a black band around the outside of that. So that's the direction, and you have to keep changing direction each time you go around. So how we start is with a little fold like that, and then we just turn around and go the other way, but there's a little bit of a trick to doing that. You sort of overhang before you start. It'll be easier to see on the next iteration. So you come out that way and then you turn around and then you leave a little bit hanging out. That's just because that's easier. It tends to be more stable in that position, whereas if you just did it without doing that, say like this, it can sort of come apart. It's not doing it there, but it can do that. So anyway, you do that and you make up these big squares. Now you can then make up these kind of triangles, or little pyramids really. And there, each one of them is going to be one of the corners. There's a couple of different ways to assemble the whole thing. You need to make 6 of them, obviously, 6 corners. And what I've done here is I've made up one that's almost finished. Right. And I'll take the square that I made previously and I'll put it in. Oops, it's the wrong way up. Okay, and it just clips in, and then there's one corner to make still. So I'll make one corner. The corners are a bit trickier. You have to start with a triangle and work your way around, but it's a bit hard to start with that. So you start with the next size up and you put the little 3 triangle on right at the end. I'll put that aside, I'll use that later, and I'll begin with a 9 triangle. So there's the 9 triangle. You just make 9 in a ring, push all of them, but the ones you want to stay out, you push them in. And then I'm going to have to use this. You do pretty much the same thing. You can go past the end and come back. Yeah, that's sort of gone past by one. And then you go around each time, making sure the corners form properly. And you might have to give it a bit of a pinch at the ends, make sure it works properly. Right, it's as simple as that. Then you put the 2 back on, you get it right. Luckily that went right, otherwise I would have had to lever it off. And there's your corner. And because it's made in concentric rings, the direction of the magnetic field goes all nicely all the way around. You don't get any of the zigzagging backwards and forwards. And then you just clip it in. Now I didn't make it the right way around, I forgot to think about it. So off comes the 3. Invert the thing. Makes it up again. Alright, so I've just inverted it because I forgot to make it the right way up. And then it just clips on. Alright. My 3 vanished. A little triangle. I'll make it again. Clip it on again. Each time I was a bit lucky with the glue, except one time. That makes this beautiful pillow cube. It's quite strong. And that was made with a little triangle on each corner. There's 8 of those, and a square in the middle. You don't have to do it like that, there's another way. You can just make up triangles. Let's use the same size triangles. Okay, and you have to check to make sure that the direction is not wrong, right on that one. This one. Nope. Those ones must be right. At least 2 of them are right, so like that. And you can clip another one on. Like that. And another one. Alright, there's the 4. Okay, you can, because I didn't start those with a 3, I started those, see how the middle one is a 6 triangle? So you can open that up if you like that. Put the corner one on, it looks a little bit cooler. The pointy corner. And that's all you have to do. Now there is one other kind of interesting feature. If you can start a cube with a square like that, or you can start it with a 3x3 cube. Now a 3x3 cube is hard to start. You make a little thing like this, right? So it's an 8 ring. You can squeeze it, push them back together, and that makes a little sort of 4-pointed star. And then you have to go hang on, I'll try to make some more of these things for you. It's the same principle, it's a little bit more awkward, but you make a line coming off that way and then you turn it around and come in the other direction so that it's like that. So you've gone sort of across one square, then turn around and come back, and then you go around, and that just keeps it stable while you're making it. That's the only reason to do it. And each time making sure you get the exact number of magnets. Now you've got to get it right. Do a couple of extra squares before you start. You go back to your initial square and open it up so that it looks nice. Okay, so there. Right now the middle one looks a bit wonky, but you just sort of use your fingernails and I don't want to stay right now. And you make it like that. Right, and you can put drop a last one in if you want. Doesn't actually, probably better not to do that right at the start. That doesn't want to sit square yet. You'd want to make the square a bit bigger and it will sit. Then the square will be strong enough to sit. Because the problem with putting the one in the middle is it doesn't have a direction. There's no logical loop for it because it's only one magnet. Okay, that's how you make those. The only thing to note is that you can start the triangles. You can start them with 3 by 3 by 3, or you can start them with 2 by 2 by 2. I don't know if you can really tell easily. The centre of that is this one is a little 2 by 2 triangle. And the centre of this one is a which finger's which? 3 by 3 triangle. Right, and it's gone around one at a time, the loops around that.